Okay, so picture this. It's 4 in the morning, pouring rain, pitch black country highway in North Carolina, and 2 different truck drivers on 2 different trips both call 911 within a few minutes of each other, both saying basically the same thing. There's a little girl walking on the side of the road by herself, and one of these guys, he can't just keep driving. He turns his whole truck around, goes back to check on her, and when he gets there, she's gone. Not down the road, not in a ditch. She'd walked into the woods. Her name was Asha Degree. She was 9. And here's the part that still messes with me. At that exact moment, her parents are asleep. They don't even know she's not in her bed. Nobody's looking for her yet, except 2 truck drivers who don't even know her name. So what was a 9-year-old doing out there? And where did she go? So rewind a little bit. This is Valentine's Day, 2000. Asha lives in this small town, Shelby, North Carolina, with her mom, dad, and older brother. Everyone locally ends up calling her Shelby sweetheart. That's how loved this kid was in her community. She's 9, 4th grade, plays basketball, and 2 nights before this, she'd had a bad game, fouled out, team lost. Kid stuff. Nothing that screams something's wrong. Her family said she seemed totally fine the next day. Now here's the timeline, and this part we actually know for sure, because her dad said it himself. 2:30 in the morning, he checks in on the kids. Asha and her brother, both asleep, both fine. Around 6:15, 6:30, Mom goes in to wake them up for school. Her son's right there. Asha isn't. No broken window. No forced door. No note. Just think about the actual motion of that morning. Aquila walks down the hall like she's done 1,000 times. Same door, same time, same reason. She's not scared yet. She's just there to wake her kid up for school. And then she's standing in the doorway of an empty bed, and her whole morning, her whole life, really, splits into before this second and after it. That's the part one can't get past. Not that Asha was gone. That her mom didn't know it yet, walking down that hallway. Here's the detail that flips this whole case on its head. Her backpack was gone too. Some of her stuff was missing with her, which means this probably wasn't someone breaking in and grabbing her out of bed. If that happened, why would she have packed a bag? It looks like Asha left on her own. But that raises a way scarier question than it answers. Because where does a 9-year-old think she's going? Alone. At 2:30 in the morning. In a rainstorm. On a highway with no sidewalks, no streetlights, nothing. Nobody has ever had a real answer to that. Not her parents. Not investigators. Not after 26 years. So her mom and dad do what any parent would do. Call family first, hoping she wandered next door. Nothing. Then 911. And within hours, this isn't just a family looking for their kid anymore. It's the county sheriff, the state police, the FBI. Hundreds of people out looking. And almost right away, they catch a break. Around 4 a.m., so like 90 minutes after her dad checked on her, those 2 truck drivers see her. Walking Highway 18, about a mile from her house. One of them turns around to help her. By the time he gets back to that spot, she's off the road. Into the trees. Gone. That's it. That's the last time anyone has ever seen Asha Degree. 26 years. Just lay the timeline out and tell me this doesn't feel impossible. 2:30 a.m., asleep in her own bed. 4 a.m., alone, on foot, on a highway, in a storm. 6:15 a.m., vanished. Under 4 hours. A 9-year-old covers a mile of highway, in the rain, in the dark, and disappears into a tree line that hundreds of people would search for weeks and find nothing in. The next day, they find her hair bow and some candy wrappers in a shed near those woods. So we know she was there. We just don't know what happened after. And I mean, this was a massive search. Cadaver dogs. Tracking dogs. Horses, dive teams checking the water, helicopters overhead, people going door to door for weeks. Nothing. Not one solid lead. By late February, they call off the ground search, not because anyone gave up, but because there's genuinely nowhere left to look. And then, this is the part that still gives me chills. A year and a half later, August 2001, a construction worker named Terry Fleming is doing a grading job, 30 miles from where Asha vanished. Just an ordinary work day for him. No idea he's about to become part of this case. His equipment turns up something buried in the dirt. 2 black garbage bags, sealed shut. He almost doesn't think twice about it. Construction sites turn up buried junk all the time. But he opens them anyway. Inside, a kid's backpack. He finds a name and a phone number written inside it, and something makes him hang on to that detail instead of tossing it. That night, he mentions it to his wife, almost as an afterthought. And she's the one who goes still and says, "Wait, that's the missing girl." She's the one who tells him to call the police. Think about that for a second. This bag sat in the ground for a year and a half, 30 miles from where anyone was looking, and it only surfaced because a guy happened to mention it at dinner and his wife happened to remember the name from the news. Now here's where it gets weird. Some of what's in the bag is hers. Clothes, stuff you'd expect. But there's also things that make zero sense. A Dr. Seuss book from her actual elementary school. And a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt that has never, to this day, been connected to Asha, her family, or anyone in this case. So sit with that for a second. If Asha packed this bag and carried it herself, who buried it 30 miles away, over a year later? And why throw in a shirt that isn't even hers? Okay, if you're into this case and want to know the second something new drops, subscribe, because this thing has moved more in the last 2 years than the previous 20 combined. Up next, the car, the DNA, and a witness statement that changed everything. Heads up though, from here I'm going to be really careful separating what's actually proven from what's alleged. Because nobody in this next part has been charged with anything, and that matters. So back in 2016, cops put out a description of a car. Early 70s, dark green, either a Lincoln or a Thunderbird, rust around the wheel wells. Witnesses said they thought they saw Asha get into something like it that night. For 8 years, nothing public happens with that lead. Then September 2024 hits, and everything changes. The FBI, state police, and the sheriff's office raid a bunch of properties over 2 days. All connected to one family, the Deadmans. And they pull a green 1964 AMC Rambler out of one of the houses. Turns out that car was given to one of the Deadman daughters, she was 16 at the time, by her dad, a year before Asha went missing. And investigators say it looks a lot like that Thunderbird description from 2016. But here's the actual bombshell. Remember that backpack from 2001? They ran DNA off a hair sample found inside it, using genetic genealogy, the same kind of tech that's cracked a bunch of cold cases lately. It comes back matching 2 people. One's a man named Russell Underhill, who died back in 2004 and who apparently lived on property connected to the Deadmans. The other result, a blood relative of Roy and Connie Deadman, the parents. Because of that DNA link, court documents actually name Roy and Connie Deadman as suspects. Their 3 daughters, who were minors back in 2000, aren't officially named as suspects, but investigators wrote that if this family was involved, an adult would have had to help pull it off or cover it up. Now, I gotta stop and say this clearly. DNA connecting a family to physical evidence is not proof of what happened to Asha. Being named in a warrant is not a criminal charge. As of right now, nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been charged. The family's attorney has publicly said the Deadmans deny any connection to this case at all, and is told the public not to jump to conclusions. But it keeps going. Days after that raid goes public, a guy walks into the sheriff's office. Says back in the mid-2000s, he used to go to parties with 2 of the Deadman daughters. At one of those parties, he says one of the sisters, really drunk, is crying, and just says it, out loud, more than once, that she killed Asha Degree. He says the other sister grabs her and tells her to shut up. He later took a polygraph about all this. Then, February 2025, new warrants come out, and for the first time, in writing, investigators say they believe Asha is a victim of homicide and that her body was hidden. That same month, Roy and Connie Dedman get officially named as suspects. I want to be really clear one more time. None of this has gone to trial. Nobody's been convicted of anything. Nobody's even been indicted. The family's lawyer keeps denying it on their behalf. And in April 2025, cops search yet another property, this time in the next county over. They wouldn't say what they were looking for. 26 years in, and this case is still, by the sheriff's own words, active, not cold. Okay, let's zoom out, because this case has picked up a lot of noise over the years. Fake jailhouse confessions, a guy who wrote a letter from prison claiming he knew where her body was, none of it ever checked out. Here's what's actually real. Asha was 9, asleep at 2:30, gone by 6:15. Two truck drivers, independently, see a girl matching her on that highway around 4 a.m., a mile from home. One tries to help her. She's into the woods before he can. Her backpack turns up 30 miles away, a year and a half later, buried, with stuff inside that was never hers. DNA from that bag links, through genetic genealogy, to a family in that same county. The parents are now named suspects. The case is officially a homicide investigation. What we still don't know, why she left that house in the first place. What actually happened between that highway and whatever came next. And where she is right now. That gap, a mile of highway, 90 minutes, is still the thing nobody's ever been able to explain. 2:30 in the morning. A dad checks on his sleeping daughter. Everything's normal. 4 a.m. She's alone. On a dark highway. A mile from home. In the rain. A stranger turns his truck around, just to make sure a kid is okay. She's gone before he can reach her. 26 years. That's how long Asha Degree's parents have been living in the space between missing and found. Not knowing which one is coming is its own specific kind of unbearable. Ask anyone who's actually had to live it. Investigators now believe she didn't make it through that night. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's been convicted. And somewhere in Shelby, North Carolina, there's a mother who was told, 26 years later, that her daughter is probably gone, and still doesn't have her back to bury. If you know anything, call the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office or the FBI. And if you've been following this one, drop what you think happened below. Just do this family the one favor they actually need right now. Keep what you believe separate from what's been proven. They've had enough theories. What they need is the truth. Somewhere along a mile of dark highway, in the rain, 26 years ago, that's where this ends, if it ever does. And it's the only ending her family's still waiting on.